Welcome back to Greatest's Let's Play Modded Minecraft series, and this is episode number 6. So, as you may have noticed, or if you've followed last episode, you'll notice I've been upgrading this altar, and I've now upgraded the tier 2 runes and the tier 3 runes to include self-sacrifice. So, if I cut myself, this is, well, if I donate my life points, this is going to donate into here. Well, this is tier 3 at the moment, and it's maximum capacity. For the moment, I've shut down the pipeline to the other one because I want to get my next orb up, which is the one after this. The problem is, in order to do that, I need to get 25,000 life points, and my altars are 10,000, and the runes to upgrade the capacity are needing the Magician's Blood Rune. Now, those of you who've gone sacrifice instead of self-sacrifice, well, that may be okay for you. For me, what I've done to try and do this, I may well fail here because I tried this earlier without the regen. I found an apple to make golden apples. Temporarily, I not only shut off the pipeline, I also kind of reversed it, if you like, set it to go back into that altar. Although, again, it's not very fast. And I'm going to stand here and see how easily this is capable to be done. So we're going to start off with 10,000, and there's, you know, I don't know, maybe 10 buckets below us, so there's probably about 20,000, and I've got my knife available. Fully filling this up to 10,000 takes about 14 clicks. So let's see if we can get it working. Alright, block of gold. Alright, there's my regen. As you can see, it's already draining quite fast. Even with the golden apple regen, it's still I'm certainly not going to beat this, I don't think. Shall keep giving it a try. Yeah, and that's run out. Now, I'm not sure whether you can keep going at this point or not. But it is consuming it very, very quickly. If it runs out entirely, I think these particles are going to stop completely, and I don't want that to happen. I think that's pretty much that it's dead. In fact, it may already be dead. And there goes my regen. So, I don't see any way of doing this without a great deal more regen than I have. It's pretty much blocking me from doing this. So I'll be right back after I've managed to think about this a bit more. Alright then, if we can't keep up with a normal golden apple, let's just try a really expensive golden apple. It's a notch apple or enchanted golden apple. Okay, cross your fingers. Ah, that's much faster. Now, unfortunately, this is 9 gold blocks. So 81 gold ingots for what you're going to need. But it seems to work. It's slowing down. I'm not going to need another one, am I? I hope not. Haha! Magician's Blood Orb. Success! By the way, if I haven't mentioned it, if you pop your Blood Orb into your altar, it'll absorb. In fact, it should. Oh, need to bind it first. Then if you pop into Blood Orb, it will, in your Blood Altar, it'll start absorbing. And because this is a self-sacrifice, basically this is more efficient. You get more blood for your sacrifice, if that makes sense. Now, back to a promise I made at the end of the last episode. I said we can make something called an air sigil, and I went out and got some more feathers. So, and you can see I've been starting to upgrade the altar with more capacity. If I right click, it's holding 13,000, but capacity is now 36,000. Much better. But I want to use some of that to create a tier 2 slate. There we go. And we're going to surround it with a gas tier orb, which I can use my magician's one, but you can use the tier 2 one as well. A sigil. Now, how much do I have in my network? 5,000. Okay, so what I'm going to do is drop my orb. If we look at this network now, yeah, it's filling nicely. So, what does the air sigil do? Well, yeah, here we go. So, if you press right click, and I have to wait till that's finished. Yeah, 16131. So if I want to go this way, hold down right click, and we're now on 15931. So yeah, it's not very much. It's something like 25 a cast, but no fall damage protection. So you kind of got to practice at it. If you've used Staff of Travelling with Ender.io, very much the same, except that kind of teleports you as well. It's a bit more disorienting than this. But with this one, and some supplies, yeah, I'm going to use that. And that's a couple of thousand with me just randomly moving around. I am going to need a better way of refilling my blood network soon though, because all of the self-sacrifice runes are very good to start off with, and you kind of, well, you can do sacrifice if you make a mod spawn a farm or something along those lines, but yeah, its usefulness comes to an end, let's put it that way. And when does that happen? Well, we need to get into tier 4, but to do that we have to make a particular item to go on this block. To do that we need to pick up items from mobs drops, and to do that we have to make a sword to get them to drop those items. The sword is one of the first things you can create with a ritual. A ritual is a new thing. It's laying things out like this, except in a particular pattern, and that will allow you to convert your life and the pattern into particular items. So that's the blocker to the next level here. But I may take a break from this right now because, yeah, I don't want to go too many episodes with just blood magic and nothing else. So what have we got next? Now, before I move on, I did want to show you, excuse the clucking, you'll see what that is in a minute. I did want to show you, before we move on, how the alternate way of filling this altar is, by the way, and that is sacrifice. Now, it's still got the self-sacrifice runes. I haven't changed them over to sacrifice ones, and if you want to know what they look like, there it is. Again, tier 2 with some gold and stone, and I've got 12 of those. Make as many of those as you can once you're at tier 3. You're going to need a lot of them. What did I do here? Let's just drop some stone. Here's your do. So I'll put a dispenser, the hopper behind it, and a chicken in the top. And there's lots of ways to do this with all kinds of different creatures. There's the one chicken. And overnight, and because I'm now playing on a server, it's my own server on my own machine, same machine I'm playing on, but it just means I can leave the computer on. I left it to lay some eggs, which it has done. But we want more chickens than that, so, well, more eggs. So I took a couple of stacks, and let's see if we can get some more chickens in here. Whoops, one on the outside, never mind. And however many you put in here, well, it's somewhat up to you, but obviously the more you have, the more they'll lay, but then you get server issues, so I'm just going to leave those in there. Then I'm going to put a stone slab, and hopefully they won't be able to escape. In fact, there's one already gone down here. Hopefully that won't be able to escape, but you can't sacrifice babies, I don't think, so you got to wait for them to grow up. So if I just pull the lever, in fact I'm going to need some kind of clock rather than that. So it's going to pull it once every time I pull the lever, so see? Instead of doing that, we can use the redstone clock, which I may have used, I'm not sure if I showed you this, but I tend to use it for making glass. Redstone clock. There we are. Very, very simple and cheap to make. So let's just get rid of you for a moment. And they don't seem to be escaping, which is okay. And all that we're going to do is literally use the sacrifice. Hang on. Instead of using this knife, we can use a dagger of sacrifice, and that's just an iron sword in a tier 2 altar with 3000 LP, which I have. Oh, yeah, I just have to keep using that. No apparent reason, just need to keep using it. Well, that's cool. That's the apparent reason. And we've got the rest, so redstone torch. And of course, I will get it wrong. That's a clock. It'll tick every second or so. That should be more than enough to keep up with the chickens. So here I am with an iron sword, and this shouldn't take too long, I don't think. There we go. Now I'm going to have to wait for those chickens to grow up, so bear that in mind. I'm probably going to put a vacuum hopper or something in there for to collect the feathers, but I don't need it right now, so that's fine. Now I was going to show you the ritual system, which is pretty cool to be honest, but for that I need magma cream, which means I need blaze powder. Now you can get excuse the noise, I'm going to have to turn on that eating. Hang on. There we go. Where was I? Yeah, I need magma cream for one of the components. I have the rest, but magma cream is what I'm missing. Now that's in the Nether, of course, which I've already been to, but there's no blaze spawn in any spawn, so I need some way of moving around in the Nether, or rather going somewhere else in the Nether. And that's where Mystcraft comes in. So we're going to make, hopefully I've got the materials for it, an ink mixer. Ooh, don't think that's right. Is it? Yeah, it's a new graphic. I like a lot. So we need some glass bottles. We need some glass. Ah, there we go. Some boards, planks. Now we're only going to use the basics of Mystcraft at the moment. We're not going to go too much into creating dimensions just yet, but if I pop an ink mixer and right click, you can see obviously the interface. You can't really see what that's for at the moment, so let's go and do a few more things. We're going to need some ink, so if you've got some squids around, something along those lines, mob drops, you're going to need them, only a few. And you're going to need to fill up a few of these glass bottles, which I've got a water source down here for. Now if we craft those together, I believe... Really? What's the bottle of ink recipe? Ink vial. Ah, it's two in a water bottle. Ah, okay. Can't seem to use coal, but okay. So there we go. 1, 2, and I also want some paper. And if I get unlucky here, I could end up with an effect I don't want, but we'll see. Shift click the paper in, shift click the vial in, and you get this. You get your bottle back, and you get the link panel page. Now when I pull this out, it could give me some other effects that I don't want, but we'll see. Okay, that doesn't. Good. You can get a few effects there. One of them is for travelling in the same dimension, which is absolutely great if you get one of those by accident. I'm not sure if you can even get it until you start to add things. We'll come back to that later because it's a good way of getting around this dimension. But for the moment, you're going to need a couple of leather. and you're going to need a couple more boards. And at least a few more sticks. So first let's create this. So a board at the bottom, stick to the sides, you get book stands. To hold books, which needs leather. Unlink to linking book 1, 2. The first one you want to link. To do this, you need to link it to a particular location you want to return to. So in this case, yeah, I probably want it here. So right click on air, and it's linked to the overworld. The other one we're going to link to the Nether, but in order to do that, we're going to leave one book stand here, somewhere around here, maybe upstairs for now, because this is where the ink mixer is after all. And let's just put it there. Now we can't put anything on that yet because obviously we've not been to the Nether, so let's go and have a look. Hopefully my bookmarks have saved. We'll see in a second. Because I'm going to need to travel across the Nether and hopefully not die. Which means I'm going to need to do it as Firebat or something along those lines. Here we go. No gas immediately showing up, and have my bookmarks saved. Yes. Okay, down there. So, first of all, let's go into bat form and hope we don't die. And the stronghold I want to go to is over here somewhere. Let's hope I remember the way. Shouldn't be that long. Yeah. Okay. After I get lost, I shall find my way without getting lost. Yes, that's right. I will not stop to ask directions, because I'm a man apparently. Where are you? Got to be here around here somewhere. By the way, if you get lucky enough to have a stronghold, right, or well, Nether dungeon, whatever you want to call them, it is around here. Ah, there we go. There's the start. So we just want somewhere to start in here, and oh crud! I could end up dead. No. Yeah, stay there. Right, so we're in the stronghold. So if I just, or whatever you call these Nether dungeons, I'm sure there is an official name. And is that a spawner? Looks like a spawner. So we're going to link to here. Now, where's my book stand? There it is. That's the book stand home, so we can right click on it with this. And if you right click, you can take it back out here if you wanted to. However, we want to link this one to here. Then, well, first of all, I'm going to just double check whether that's a spawner, and before I do that, I want a way to stop them from coming all the way back here. Do we chance it? Well, Let's just be really careful here. Wouldn't want to lose the book to the place that I just died. That would be terrible. There we go. Easy access to the Nether. I suppose at this point we could really disassemble that. Ooh, I died. We could disassemble that Nether portal now. We don't really need it anymore, but just in case. Blaze spawner, just what we want. And I've got the blaze form now, apparently. And we can also seal this in a little bit. That's all I wanted, just one for now. Job done, easy access to the Nether. And while I think about it, I actually really should document things more about what's upcoming. So if I make a clipboard, I think I have all the components. I certainly have a lot of more feathers since that, oops, that incident with the overnight chickens. I need some paper. I'll get it upstairs, but I've also got loads out here, so let's grab it here. Nom 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 nom. And I think that was a wooden pressure plate, was it? Let's have a look. Yeah. So, pressure plate, feather, ink sac, and out of inventory space. Typical. Oh, I did get 2 blaze rods. Okay, cool. I can use them regardless. Oh, I shift clicked. Please, Binny, please fix this. Right, and there we go, clipboard. And something I saw from Akko the Builder, is a Bibliocraft desk to put it on. Oak would do fine, but cherry, because I've got lots and lots of cherry. So, okay, so it's just some building materials. There's a desk, and that I actually do want down here. Will you fit? No, you won't. There we go. Which I should be able to put the clipboard on, and I can now edit it. Bibliocraft really has these really pretty models, pretty for Minecraft, I suppose. So I can just edit each of these lines. So coming up soon, we're going to have rituals. Blood magic. While I'm thinking about that, let's go and fit our redstone clock. Whoop. Good thing about this sword now is it instant kills most things in the overworld, so no more hissing of creepers as long as you're reasonably fast. Have they escaped? No, they haven't. Good. And if I just fit this up here, I want to put it the other side actually, so just so I can get to the dispenser if I need to. There we go. Damn, they can escape. Need to stop that from happening somehow. Yeah, maybe it's not too bad. They don't seem to be inclined to escape. Okay, so let's come back when a few of those have grown. In fact, before I do that, I've just, well, this annoying clicking is getting on my nerves, but I've just put a wood slab there. See if that will stop them. Shouldn't really be able to escape through that, should they? Yeah, we'll see. If necessary, I can put another slab in place until I'm ready to start sacrificing them. But in the meantime, I don't think I have the materials for a sand muffler just yet, but I will need to craft one. Anyway, probably time for me to wait for those to grow. And in fact, that looks like the 30-minute point, so it's probably about time I split this off into a separate episode. Next episode, all of those should have grown, and we're going to head into rituals, which is where we start getting into bound tools. So a bound sword. We can also make a bound pickaxe, and that's very, very, very dangerous. And other such tools, they will rapidly clear out areas. The bound axe, for example, will go through huge amounts of wood in anywhere around you, so you've got to be very, very careful with them. My first time at using them though, so probably I'll end up destroying and you'll end up laughing a great deal. We'll see. Thanks for watching. This has been episode 6, I believe, and we'll see you next time. If you like this movie, please feel free to like or subscribe if you want to see more of them, or indeed leave a comment and let me know what you want to see in future. Obviously it's been a bit of a slog getting through Blood Magic to this point, but from this point onwards we're pretty flexible now once we got to tier 3. I mean, if you look at this altar now, 50,000 life points. So even the next tier up I can actually make with this one. It requires 40,000, and the tier up, the top tier is 75, so it's within reach now. There wasn't this huge pinch point that we got around the Magician's Blood Orb. So I hope to see you next time, and we'll start the rituals. And just to give you a bit of a preview, aside from the tools, we can also do many, many more things with rituals, including later on an upgrade to this where we won't need this structure outside. We can actually build something underneath called a Well of Suffering, which is a very, very nice place where lots of fun is to be had by mobs. But I may well build that underneath my base, because lots of mob spawning, even with mufflers, it's going to sound atrocious out here. So I may well leave this as some kind of manual way, this kind of self-sacrifice way of adding blood, and have another one downstairs which is all sacrifice, and we go from there. Thanks for watching.